An upcoming book titled The Mirror Effect aims to help women and diverse leaders shatter barriers as they climb the corporate ladder. The book's author, Dr. Sheila Gujarathi, was recently at the NYSE for the Biotech CEO Sisterhood, which inspires leaders to ignite change and drive biopharma impact. She joined me on the trading floor to talk more about the book. Take a listen.
This is a book that I wrote to really help the next generation of women and diverse leaders be better set up for success as they go into higher levels of corporate leadership.
Based on your personal experience, I know you shared with me that climbing the ladder in corporate America, there were some challenges with that. How did your personal experience shape this narrative?
It's been a journey to be a seasoned biotech executive, and I have learned so much as I've climbed that corporate ladder and gone into higher levels of leadership. And there's no playbook for any of this. There's no playbook on how to be a C-level executive. There's no playbook on how to become a CEO or a serial founder of companies. And I think for women and people of color who don't have the same networks as some of our male peers and allies and mentors and sponsors, we are at somewhat of a disadvantage because we don't have anyone to talk to sometimes. When I was going through my own journey and learning a lot of lessons along the way, it was quite lonely. And so out of that experience, I learned a lot of lessons, sometimes painfully. And I thought, would it be great to actually have a network of women leaders that I could go to? And that's how the Biotech CEO Sisterhood was formed. But also, could I codify and write down some of these lessons learned and create a path or a roadmap for others to follow so they could benefit and maybe not make the same mistakes I made, but again, be just better prepared and smarter as they went on their career journey.
Is that where the mirror effect comes in? And can you break that down for us?
Yeah, it was so interesting. So last year I was asked to give a TED Talk, and I decided to focus it on this concept of mirrors. And mirrors are people who truly see us, hear us, and understand us in a way that we haven't felt before. They also reflect our brilliance and show us our true potential that allows us to be our best selves. So I spoke about this in the TEDx talk, and I combined that with my writings to create the Mirror Effect book to show that we can empower ourselves to set ourselves up for success in a way that we just haven't experienced before.
How can people find mirrors in their lives?
You know, it's really anyone who you feel safe with, who you feel has your back, who you feel, again, really sees you, understands you, and encourages you to be your best self, encourages you to take those challenges. We all have mirrors in our lives. There are family members, there are friends, there are people at work. And so I think it's important to understand who they are and then surround yourself with them so that you can go to them. They're your trusted mentors, sponsors, advisors to really help guide you along your career journey and be there for you when you may hit bumps in the road, but also challenge you to be your best self. And all of us have them. And if we don't, we have to cultivate them and bring them into our lives. For me personally, the Biotech CEO Sisterhood showed me what it was like to have mirrors. For the first time, I walked into a room and I felt so comfortable. And I hadn't experienced that as a biotech CEO in the past because I was often one of the few women in a room at an investor conference or a banking conference. This was a completely new experience, and it was liberating.
I've been observing your group today, and they're moving throughout the stock exchange with excitement, joy, support. Can you talk about some of the core values of this organization?
It's really a safe and supportive community where we focus on lifting each other up during our tough times and challenges, but also celebrating each other's successes when we have them. We're role modeling what it is to be a collaborative group and not competitive with one another, that we can all win from an abundant mindset. And that's really been kind of revolutionary for some of us because we hadn't experienced that before. So we came together and we share insights, lessons learned. We freely give to one another, and it just makes us better leaders. It makes us better CEOs. It helps our companies. It helps our investors. It helps us develop drugs better. And so that's been what we've been focused on. And through this journey, we've become just deep friends, and we have a lot of fun together as well. So I would say some of the core values are collaboration, respect, humility, care and concern for one another, and truly just being altruistic and, giving back.
I think there's a common cultural misconception that you have to be cutthroat or competitive to get ahead. And, instead, what you're talking about is collaboration and supporting and lifting people up. What are some things people can do to be a more supportive friend or ally?
Well, one thing is just, again, to celebrate each other's successes and wins, lift each other up when something good happens and actually reflect it back to you. Sometimes as a woman, it's sometimes hard to accept praise and really stop to celebrate what we've accomplished. We're always like looking for that next milestone, that next thing to achieve. And we're often caught in the prison of perfectionism. We're trying to be these perfect moms and spouses and partners and also perfect bosses at work. And it's just difficult to do all of that, if not impossible. So I think allowing ourselves to be our authentic selves and then reflecting that back to one another, and again, celebrating that and showing us that it's okay to be our authentic selves. And actually, it's not only okay, it's necessary for you to be the best version of yourself and the best leader you can be. So as Marianne Williamson says, we're all powerful beyond measure. We just have to know it, embrace it, and step into our power.